public requests. So at this time, if anyone in the audience, thank you all for coming. Have anything to say to the board?
The only thing I would like to say, if you're okay with it regarding Open Meeting Act, I appreciate Joseph finally emailing me back on my questions about when your workshop met, as well as the executive committee. And for further clarification, if it's not already defined, if you check with the Civil Division of the Attorney General's office, basically you guys are not supposed to have any meetings that are not open to the public, period, whether you have a quorum or not. You can't deny inclusion at meetings for the public. Unless it's a closure item, and closure items are very, very specific. So you may want to investigate that to see that I'm not blowing smoke up your keisters, for example, but I'm very well versed in the Open Meeting Act. It's one of my favorite pieces of statute. And I can tell you that if you would check with the AG's office and talk to Mary Smith in the Civil Division, she's one of my go-to people, and ask her about that. I don't believe that you're required to actually publish a formal agenda, but if you say we're having, like you had your budget workshop meeting, that should be open to the public. Your meeting should never ever be closed unless it's a closure item.
That would mean that anyone who is a board member could never talk to another board member.
Not entirely true. I mean, you get into recusal positions, even speaking to the general public. If you're my board representative and I come and I try to leverage you for a position, then is that incorrect? Yes and no. It depends on how I'm leveraging you, for example. If you, 3 of you or 4 of you or 5 of us, I'll go sit down and eat peanuts and watch a movie together. No. But as soon as you open your mouth and you start discussing any business at all, then you can be called on the carpet for violations of Open Meeting Act. If you're found in violation, individually you could theoretically be fined. I don't think that's ever happened. The entity could be fined. Any actions or activities you take in violation of Open Meeting Act could be rescinded, and you would have to run that entire thing again. So any decision you made that comes that would be proven to be a violation, any decision that you would make could be turned over, and you would have to start over again. So it causes a lot of problem, and the public isn't your worst enemy. The public has a right to know what's going on. Well, and we're interested.
No one's ever made that assertion.
Well, I'm just saying that the public are interested.
You're this thing as though there was this demeanor of
well, sir, I think that there is, because I asked about the workshop meeting. I emailed Danette a couple of times and I made a phone call. I got passed to Joseph. It took better than a week to get an answer. The day I finally found out about your budget workshop meeting, I was told on a phone I was not allowed to attend because you didn't have a quorum. And your own documents state that. And you know, it's true, if you don't have a quorum, you theoretically can't transact business. But when you meet in small groups and you all are decision makers, you know, Joe sat here and said findings and facts from your budget workshop. Well, a finding and fact would indicate to me as a member of the public that you know, you've already taken some positive step that the whole board's going to vote for, that you're leveraging the board based on your activity.
You can't make that assumption.
Well, the public can, and the AG could as well, depending on how you handle things. So it's just better if you're willing to leave those meetings open, is all I'm saying. And you know, you can confirm that with the Attorney General's office.
We'll have to do some research on that. But
Please do.
I think.
Please do.
I think your argument is a stretch.
Okay, well, I don't want to argue with you. You asked for public comment, and that's my public comment.
I sent you our attorney's ruling on that. Each of you has that, which says that what you have done is appropriate and is within the law, as long as it's factual.
Yes.
And no decision.
No decisions were made. Right. There were no recommendations to the board.
Correct.
It was all fact-finding commission.
Reviewing.
As long as there's not any recommendations to the board, then I feel like we're okay.
And I agree, the meeting itself was not in violation, but for a member of the public to be told they couldn't attend is where your violation lies.
We move on.
Okay, Well, I'll go ahead and I'll send a formal, I'll send a formal
Did anyone tell you
complaint.
that you couldn't attend?
Yes, Danette did, and Mr. Ellis did as well. Their statement was because you did not have a quorum. So I'm bringing it to your attention, and, y'all can do what you like, and I can also do what I like. So I'm just asking to, let the public in.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
thank you. Anyone else? Okay,